Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for checking this out. And of course, as you saw from the title of this video, we're talking about Pokemon Legends Arceus, a game that I have been absolutely obsessed with since it came out last Friday. In fact, on Sunday, I had clocked in about 26 hours into the game in only about 2 days. Absolutely, if I had any free time, it went to this game. And I probably could have beaten it sooner, but I was just having so much fun exploring the game. But we're gonna get into it. And as of course, hey guys, I'm trying to get to 100 subscribers. I know it's not a huge number, but you know, it's big for me. You know, I've been sitting at around 50, between 50 and 60 subscribers for a while, and I only need 41 more subscribers to hit that goal. So if you could do me the biggest favor in the world, it would be amazing. Just to hit that like, hit that subscribe button down below. Just helping a small YouTuber out. But anyway, how I want to do this, how I like to do my videos, is I like to start with the negatives first, you know, get the bad stuff out of the way, and then we can focus on the good stuff. And today, while I was at my other job, I pretty much got to sit down and just put up, write down essentially everything that I liked and disliked. And there's actually a pretty long list for both. But first and foremost, we gotta talk the big one. The absolute big one the elephant in the room, per se, and that is the graphics. The graphics for this game are not great. The draw distances are horrible, the pop-ins, the textures. There was a glitch even during a cutscene, well, I guess not a true cutscene, but like a discussion between me and a character where his foot kept like doing this, and I meant to like snap it, but like it just, it happened too quick and the cutscene was over. But it was really hilarious. It looked like he was just tapping his foot really quick. This should not happen for a game in 2022. It should not. Game Freak needs to either hire on an assistant, another team to do the landscapes and the environments, or they need to just drop it altogether. Like, give it to another studio, because this is unacceptable. It's better on handheld, but when you dock it, you can really tell. That's just first and foremost. Some of the things I really didn't like about the game were the system can get a little bit repetitive. But what I mean is, the whole goal of the game is to catch, you know, Pokemon to fill out the Pokedex. So you're constantly going to be crafting Pokeballs, throwable items, medicinal items, stuff like that. And it wasn't that bad in the beginning, but then like as the game went on, I was really going through Pokeballs like crazy. And so I had to craft a whole lot more, and it really wasn't an issue until I realized, oh wow, I don't have certain components to craft the higher end Pokeballs. And I had to spend probably a couple hours just hunting and gathering resources for everything. And eventually I got to a point where I just spent my money on buying Pokeballs, which you can do, but it was a little too repetitive near the end, and I just said, I'm just gonna buy Pokeballs at this point. Other things I really didn't like about the game, lack of voice lines. Come on guys, this is also 2022. We should be having voice lines. Characters should not just be silent. There's too much dialogue in this game for there not to have been some type of voice lines. And once again, if it's an issue of they didn't know what they were doing, or once again, Nintendo now giving Game Freak the money that they need to do voice acting, because Breath of the Wild did it. Why can't this game do it? You know, it's unacceptable. And this is just something they need to do with the next game. Other things, the environments. Beyond the environments not looking the greatest, there's also not really much to do in them besides hunt for resources and catch Pokemon. Beyond that, there really wasn't anything to find, really. There was no treasure, there was no like secret places. Everything was just pretty much laid out. And while I did have fun getting, finding Pokemon in areas that I hadn't seen before, once you unlock some of the ride Pokemon, I don't know, it just felt like there could have been something there, but at the same time, I also can kind of imagine that it's an old time Sinnoh, before it was called Sinnoh, there wouldn't be treasure chests around. I get it, I just wish there was something more to do out in the wilds. The battling system makes no sense sometimes, or sometimes enemy Pokemon will be able to hit me 2, sometimes 3 times in a row, and I can't do anything. My Pokemon just goes out and dies. Or faints, sorry. And it made no sense. I really wish they would give a little more explanation as to how that works. That way I can at least understand it. So other things about, the combat system being a little bit unfair is sometimes when I'm out in the wild trying to catch some stronger Pokemon, rare Pokemon, I'll get ganged up on. And it'll be like 3 Pokemon at once battling me, and for some reason, I'm not allowed to throw in additional Pokemon to help out. No, it's always gonna be 1 versus up to 3 different Pokemon, and that's crazy. Where I'm trying to catch 1, and I understand that's probably part of the difficulty, but it's just really annoying when I'm trying to throw 1 Pokemon, it just happens to be, I'm trying to catch this one, but there's another one that's helping it that is strong against my Pokemon. So it definitely made catching Pokemon in like the really high areas, really like dangerous areas, even more tedious. You know what? I don't know. I wish I could just throw out another Pokemon. Don't let my Pokemon get teamed up on. The lazy animations, once again, go into the graphics of the game. Sometimes the screen would actually cut out, fade to black, right before a character was supposed to do something. Like, for example, Commander Komodo, he apparently throws my character against the wall or throws them across the room, and instead of animating that, the screen just cuts to black and a text box says, "He threw you," and then comes back to me and I'm like on the ground, or I'm getting back up, and it's just, once again, it's 2022. Stop doing that. That's lazy. Side quests for the game, because there's so much to do besides catching Pokemon and filling up the Pokedex, is completing side missions, which can give you items, rare items, and sometimes even Pokemon. But a lot of them are just hit and miss. A lot of them are just fetch quests. There's not a whole lot of variety. It's either get me this item, get me this Pokemon, show me this Pokemon, and that's pretty much it. I don't know what I'm expecting, but there's so many of these quests, these side missions. I wish there was just more variety besides just fetch quests, Other things the biggest thing. This is my biggest thing. The game, I'm worrying, now that I'm done with it, I'm kind of finishing up the Pokedex, there's not a whole lot of replay value. And that's just because the whole point of the game is to fill out the Pokedex. Normally in other past Pokemon games, I could play through them multiple times with different teams, build up a completely new strategy, or just use Pokemon I don't normally use. In this game, I was actually doing that on the fly. I was swapping out my Pokemon quite often, to the point where my ending team had none of my original Pokemon on it besides my starter. Excuse me. And I don't really think I'm gonna have that drive to replay this game once I've completed the Pokedex, because of how much effort I had to put in. To want to restart all that? I don't know. I don't see myself wanting to replay this as I would another Pokemon game, immediately. It might be a good couple of years or so before I want to replay this. But who knows? That just might be me. It just doesn't seem to have a whole lot of replay value. Unless you like having to start back over and collecting all the research data on the Pokemon again. But hey, those are just the things I really didn't like about the game. But let me talk to you about what I did like about the game. And that is, the biggest thing, it shakes up the formula. This is a completely different Pokemon game than we've ever gotten before. It has elements of everything, the Let's Go games, the original games, even Pokemon Go on the phone. It's so different, it's so new, it's a breath of fresh air, and I love that. A lot of people have been comparing this game to Breath of the Wild, but honestly, I think it's more along the lines of Monster Hunter. The game is just, you're constantly going out, gathering materials, to craft Pokeballs, to catch Pokemon, and I've never had this desire to catch all these Pokemon than I have now. And it's an awesome feeling. I feel like a kid again. Like I said, I've been playing this game like crazy, and I just clocked in about 40 hours putting the game down just a little bit ago. Big things is the open areas. I do enjoy exploring and checking out these areas, finding Pokemon that I haven't found before. And I'm still doing that like 40 hours into the game. I just found a Turtwig and a Goomy for the first time in a while. And for the first time, not the first time in a while, but first time. And every time I see a new Pokemon that I haven't seen before, I get excited. It's awesome. The exploration it gets better when you unlock ride Pokemon, which allow you to go back to older areas and explore areas that you weren't able to originally, because now you have access to be able to swim, to climb things, to fly over things. It's awesome. The game really wants you to explore, and it's so much fun. The catching mechanics are super fun and intuitive. I love just chucking my Pokeball like a well-aimed, well-timed Pokeball and just capturing that Pokemon. It is awesome. Like I said, it feels a lot like the Let's Go games and Pokemon Go, but just a more sophisticated way of doing it. And I love the real-time aspect of it. You can get in and out of a battle without having to go like into a cutscene. It's just a huge step up in the right direction. A sense of freedom that a lot of Pokemon games just haven't done before. I also love how it's easier to catch Pokemon. I feel like in the previous games, you had once you get to a certain level, Pokeballs are essentially useless. But in this game, they're not. You can still use Pokeballs and catch, even like level 60 Pokemon with them, as long as you set up the right. As long as you set it up right. Feeding them the right food, hitting them in the right spot with the Pokeball. It's fantastic. Even shiny hunting is a lot easier in this game with a lot of the newer mechanics. Once you fill out a Pokemon's Pokedex entry, you raise the shiny rate, as well as when you find hordes of Pokemon where you catch a lot of the same Pokemon appearing in the same area, you can also, it's a lot easier just to get shinies. It's awesome. The alpha Pokemon, the big forms of them are awesome. I love it. It's I'm finding all my favorites, and I'm just adding them to my team. I found an Alpha Snorlax. Oh boy, Alpha Snorlax is really fun to find and catch, and I'm so happy that I have him and he's on my team. He's just a big old boy. I love him. Now, the story was not too bad, honestly. It wasn't amazing. Pokemon's not known for their amazing stories, but this one was okay, solid. In fact, the ending, the real final boss at the end, kind of surprised me, kind of didn't, but I don't know. I guess one thing that was a bit negative is the story kind of the cutscenes, so the end credits kind of appear really quick, abruptly. I'm like, that's it? And I was making a joke even at the time, like, oh, that'd be hilarious if the end credits just happened. And then they did. But anyway, story was pretty solid. It had it was more adult than I expected. What is fantastic. Some of the newer Pokemon in the world, the Hisuian versions, are really cool. Some of them better than others, but overall, the new forms, the new evolutions are solid. Not all of them, but most of them, solid. Like I said, going back to the Pokedex, filling that out and having it be way more detailed. You have to battle with Pokemon a certain amount of times, use a certain move a number of times, catch a certain amount, and it's not the same for every one. So it shakes it up a bit. It's just different. It's invigorating that it's not just catch a Pokemon once and then boom, you got the Dex. Part of me kind of misses that, but part of me also likes the adventure and the challenge that this brings, Hell, even releasing your Pokemon. They don't tell you this in the game, but you are actually kind of encouraged to release your Pokemon because they give you these grit stones, which increase the stats of your Pokemon. So there's no way how much storage space you have, there's no way that you're gonna be able to fit all the Pokemon you want in there. So they want you to get rid of the ones you're not using anymore, the ones that you don't think you're gonna be using, and they give you rewards. It's cool. And I love that there's a ranch that you can visit to go see not all of your Pokemon, but a couple of your Pokemon wandering around. And one of the best things in this game is taking my entire team of 6, throwing them out of their Pokeballs in the main hub area, Jubilife Village, and just seeing them all act differently. I threw out my Raichu once and he came out sleeping, like holding his tail, and it was adorable. I've thrown out like Pokemon that just stare at me for a while, then eventually they get bored and they start sleeping too, or they start interacting with the other Pokemon that are nearby. Speaking of the hub world, it has a little bit of everything. You got your marketplace, you got your hairstylist, clothing store, a photo studio where you can take photos of your Pokemon, the ranch where you can look at your Pokemon, there's a farm where you can actually farm certain things like apricorns and mints that you can use to increase your Pokemon stats. There is, of course, the main town hall where you can up your levels and get more side quests. There's a move learner, and I love this feature. The fact is, you can change your Pokemon's moves at any time. You don't need to get rid of one and then find like a heart scale or something to relearn it. You can just swap out your Pokemon's moves at any time, and I think that needs to be 100% a staple going forward. Another big thing about this game that I like is the boss battles. Now, there's not a whole lot of them. I think there's only like 5, 6, maybe 7, but like where you're actually not your Pokemon is not the ones fighting. You are. Fighting, I should say. It's mainly just dodging attacks and trying to look for an opening while you're pelting them with their favorite food in little sacks. I know it sounds a little weird, but just go with it. It actually is a lot cooler than how I'm talking about it. Until you get to a point where they finally are calmed down and you defeat the boss. So you're not actually fighting these big boss Pokemon, but it's more of just like how often can you dodge and throw crap at them. It's great. Just something new. It felt very much like Monster Hunter in those moments. And in fact, I remember watching a video, we'll look side by side between like Monster Hunter Rise and this in this game. It looks so similar. All in all, this game is such a breath of fresh air, and I am so happy that Nintendo and Game Freak took a risk here. And this needs to be the foundation going forward. Now, I don't know how they're going to accomplish this in like a more modern setting, but I really hope that Game Freak takes the time to make it right. I don't care if I have to wait a couple of years. You know what? There's plenty of Pokemon games I can go back to and play. Take as much time as you need, and for the love of God, make your environment better. This game has just been such a amazing thing to play with my friends, my brother. We've been messaging pictures back and forth and just talking about our adventures, finding Pokemon and encountering some of our favorites and just some of the goofiest stuff that we've had in this game, that we've experienced in this game. And like I said, this is 100% the best thing they've done for Pokemon in a while. And I've been reading and watching a lot of videos and articles about how this game is terrible, it's the worst Pokemon game ever. There's a couple of YouTubers that I just completely disagree with. I don't know why they hate on this. That's their thing. You don't have to like every game that comes out for Pokemon, but you have to give them praise. This is a better step in the right direction, and they need to run with it. Now, if they go back to the previous ways, there probably will be a riot. Like this, they can't just give us this and then go back. They have to go forward, and they have to give the time and the right resources and the right team to work on this. But I'm so happy that this is a thing. And I'm so glad I beat it before the next big game comes out on this weekend. But thank you guys so much for watching this. Like I said, I'm having fun with this game. It's not going to be for everybody, but I'm enjoying it, and seems to be most of the Pokemon community is as well. But hey, do me the biggest favor of all. Please hit that like button, subscribe. Like I said, I'm trying to get to 100, and I'm just loving the more engagement I'm getting on my videos lately. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next video. Take it easy.